You're not on the field, court or ice. CWall. You're on the couch. From PG to DC, this is Coaching from the Couch with your host, CWall. Delivering coverage for all DC sports teams from a hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, Caps, Bowie State.
My name's CWall, I'm a PG girl. Down for my skins, I don't know if you heard. If you like watching sports, then I am your girl. Sit down on the couch if you're not on the field. Cold on the ice, pick any sport that you want. Know that I cover it tight. What would you like? From baseball to football and more. The list can go on the whole night. Big shouts out to my HBCU fam. Never forget who I am through the wins and the losses, the highs and the lows. We gotta stay strong, so I stay 10 toes. Make the competition back. The way I kick it make them mad, man. CWall and we live and direct. Sit back on the couch and relax. Come on.
Hey everybody, look, we've been goofing off in here. I don't know, all of them on time, or them late when the show started. Listen, you guys, last week it was Happy New Year, but I wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. So I guess I'll tell you all Happy New Year today, since I didn't tell you that last week. So it's good to see you guys virtually. You guys, listen. When is there a dull moment? Never. Listen, it's hilarity. I'm trying not to laugh, but I am laughing because it's funny. So the Redskins want to take up all my showtime, don't they? They should. That's debatable. That's debatable. That is debatable. Listen, you guys, we can't talk about them the whole time. We can't talk about them the whole entire time. But I do want to talk about them at some point tonight. For quite a bit. I'm gonna mess with Joy in a minute, but before I mess with her, because she always wants me to talk about the Redskins the whole entire time. So last week was like the dream show for her. But in the building, I got the 87 TV network family. Gerard and Holly are here. As you already know, Joy is up in here. Listen, I'm going to mess with Joy because I got to jump into college hoops, and all I know is Howard has been losing.
Hey.
That's all. I ain't making it personal. Trying not to anyway. It's like, no, I'm not making it personal. I'm not making it personal at all. But I did want to jump in there and say that. Yeah, like a mug. Y'all struggling big time. I think it's like at the bottom of the MIAC or something like that. But listen, no, for real. I want them to do better. I do. I'm an HBCU fanatic, so I please help us out. Do something. And I'm sitting up here toggling between all this stuff on my computer, and I'm laughing at myself because if y'all haven't been watching the show and I'm having technical difficulties, well, sometimes it's me. Sometimes it's me. So if I start toggling back and forth through things, Joy, real quick, who is on the show? Because I can see Summer who is on the show. John is always here.
Kenneth is here. Kenneth Lash.
I feel like Kenneth is always here.
Maz is here.
Maz is up in the building. I see my god brother is on here. My mama's always on here.
Always.
Everybody. Cameron Mingo. Now, I don't know. I think I'm doing like a watch party. This is like live. This is the awesome part about live TV, because I'm about to tell y'all I'm doing a watch party on my computer, but then I can't see everybody else's comments, so I'm about to maybe click out of the watch party. I think, y'all. I don't know what I'm doing because I got to get to the sports news, and me not knowing what I'm doing is holding us up. So that's what I'm like. So everybody who's on my page if you're on my page doing the watch party, I think I'm gonna click out of that and go to the CWall Sports and Entertainment Facebook page.
Kenneth is showing off on the thread.
Look, it say. Are you sure you want to leave this part? Well, y'all can keep watching the watch party. I'm leaving the watch party. Gerard is laughing because we're goofing off in here, but it's 2020. I think things ain't been right ahead, or things been all the way right, depending on how you look at it. Perspective is everything. But everything's either been all the way right, or let's just keep going. I'm an HBCU fanatic, so then we got to go move on to Bowie State's basketball team. Bowie State, because Howard hasn't been doing well, so I already told y'all that. Trying. Bowie State did beat Winston-Salem over the weekend. They did do that, so their record is now 9-6. I think right now they are 4th in the Northern Division in the CIAA. They holding on strong. They holding right there in the middle. Today they played the Johnson C. Smith. This weekend or Monday they'll be at Fayetteville State. Shout out to the Bowie State Bulldog. All of his good games. All of his good games for sure. Georgetown. Well, we all knew Georgetown. I just want to say this real quick about Georgetown. Georgetown, 5th in the Big East. I was a little disappointed in Seton Hall beating them, but I mean, that is what that is. Seton Hall was up by like 20 in the first half, so that was, but I mean, Seton Hall is looking real good. So I'm gonna just let that be that. But Georgetown did end up beating St. John's 87-66. So we're good. I'm not too devastated. Maryland's holding on. They're holding on to the 12th spot ranking in the country. So that's good. They're holding on. I want to see what they're gonna do. I think they got a big game coming up this weekend. I'm trying to keep up with everything. If they can get past Iowa. I think that's either Friday or Saturday. If the Terps can get past Iowa, I think that'll catapult them back into the top 10. Because that top 10, I'm going to tell you something. The basketball is weird right now. Yeah. College basketball is all the way weird. It shifts because there's so many games. And then I see Kevin Williams' point right here. Maryland needs to play some defense. Absolutely. Yeah. That's all the difference. I see they're picking up the pace early in the games because we talked about that a few weeks ago. We were talking about that a lot before the year let out of, people, once the game film is out there, people done figured you out. You can't start out slow. These teams are on to you now. So you got to do better. Got to do better. So I'm anxious to see what happens against Iowa, see if that gets them back in the top 10 because, I'm a Terps fanatic, HBCU fanatic, Terps fanatic, so it's all good. All good. Really quick, want to jump to and go back to John's point. Great game the other night against Ohio State. Agreed. I felt good. I liked that game. I felt good. I was back to feeling very promising again about it. So we on to something. They on to something. I'm not gonna give up. Not going to give up any faith on them. I see my guy Mark Pinkert is online just in time for me to start talking about the Caps. I don't have much to say about the Caps really at this time other than, was it Tuesday night, they smashed the Ottawa Senators. I was watching the game because it had been a minute since I watched a full Caps game. I get the highlights and do all that, but it had been a minute. And I was like, whoa. I mean, they were just, next night, I was like, They did not at all play that pristine hockey. They weren't on point, and I just attributed it to they had played with all their heart the night before. One thing that I had brought up a while ago was, because it's been talked about, Samsonov being the goalie, and what does that mean for Hopi? I think he's just a backup goalie doing what he's supposed to do. I don't know what other Caps fans' thoughts are about the goalie situation, but Hopi had a solid game last night. So he's doing what he should do. I mean, the Caps were just awesome Tuesday. So I didn't know if I was just being completely oblivious to where they've been going, because I know they hit a mid-season slump, if you will. But they were terrific on Tuesday. And so I said, all right, I got to catch them again the next night, see what they're going to do in preparation for the show. And I was like, what in the world happened to them? But back-to-back games are tough. So I just roll with it, like that. I mean, I mean, it's still early. It's still early. Y'all know when it comes to basketball, NBA basketball, and hockey season, I start panicking around December. And so that's when I know, okay, something is either up or something is about to go down. And I don't feel that way about the Caps. I think the Caps are all right. I think they're okay. I call my guy Mark he's my Caps connoisseur, if you will. And he watches like every Caps game. I think it's the coolest thing ever. So we'll see what happens. I just still want to keep watching the goalie situation, because I've heard folks say, "Oh, well, since Samsonov, he's doing this and that." You know how it always goes. When somebody's playing very, very well, that means to shut everybody else down, and that's not what that means. It's not even fair. Stop saying it. It's not even right. So we'll see what happens, you guys. To Mark's point, it wasn't just no defense. I don't know what happened. Yeah, Jensen and Orloff, they wasn't what was popping last night. But when we talk about things looking up or things about to go down, let me move on to my Wizards. Cameron Mingo already said he couldn't wait. He just can't wait to the Wizards conversation. And you guys, make sure you are sharing this show with your DMV sports loving family and friends so they can join the conversation live, because we always talking about something. We always getting into it. First of all, I know some people might not like this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I need y'all to vote for Bradley Beal to go to the NBA All-Star game. I don't want to hear it. Don't question me about it. Just do it. We get the emails and Brad's good people. Just go ahead and just vote. NBA.com. They got all sorts of ways to vote. Now, NBA.com, you can vote via Snapchat. I don't even use Snapchat. Maybe I should. But you can do it on Google, everywhere. But vote. Get our guy BB3 in the All-Star game. Please, represent. Let's do it. Come on. Why not? Why not? The only thing I have to say about last night's game, right? Because the Wizards were playing. Who did they beat? They beat the Nuggets. And then they had they finally beat somebody. Now, see, that's shade.
Oh, excuse me.
Look here. I'm normally the one dishing out the shade. I was just trying to be nice, but my time is coming. You just wait. So, but listen, they had this folks were calling it a historic win against the Miami Heat. That was the end of the year last year. I'm saying it like it was a long time ago. Then who they beat? The Nuggets, then the Celtics, right? And I'm like, okay, for some reason, the Orlando Magic most certainly has the Wizards number. I'm like, what in the world? Orlando I don't know. Orlando, I don't even know what to say about it. I mean, granted, the Wizards have a lot of injuries right now. A lot of injuries. But they got to find a way to try to beat the Orlando Magic. I mean, my gosh, no shade to them. But they certainly have their number. And that's been going on all season long with the Orlando Magic. And, like I mentioned, they had some impressive wins. And then they do what you're supposed to do. You saw them playing the team ball. They just do what you're supposed to do, and things will work out for you. But last night, there was another one. I went back I saw you doing incredible things, and now here we back. Maybe you're tired. And maybe it's been too many games, and maybe you need a break. But I just find that very fascinating that the Orlando Magic seems to have their number. And I asked a question on social media today about the Wizards trading Davis Bertans. And it's a lot I could say about a few of these, but let me give you a few of the responses I got. So brother Shaquille Sunflower said, nope, get him a contract extension. My guy BJ Lucas Hampton alum, fellow Hampton alum, says yes, only for first. My guy Robbie Gross from Sports on the Hill podcast says, I really like him, but we will lose him for nothing next offseason because we can't afford the raise. Then Ron Blackwell responds to Robbie and says, well, with Mahimi coming off the payroll and a few other guys just in 1 year deals, we should have a few dollars available. But Ernie left us in a mess. Ernie, we still feeling the brunt of Ernie. We still cannot wake up in the morning without a nightmare.
Wow.
Jeez Louise. And then Yusuf Taylor followed up with that and said, reiterated what Ron said, which was Mahimi comes off the books next season. Use them coins to re-sign the young fella. Here's what I think. Now listen, I totally understand why the message is trade Davis. I understand the message. That message is because the Wizards aren't expected to be good anytime soon, right? I mean, hey, what is it? They got 12 wins this year. It's hard to, they do have a ton of injuries, but it's hard to foresee them being a top competitor in the East. At the same token, I don't think Davis should be traded. I mean, you literally got to steal. Now that to me, somebody like Davis, and understanding that trading is about the valuable piece that you have. And so right now he is the most valuable piece. He's shown and proven, and of course now folks want him. And the Wizards, I'm telling you, Tommy Shepard has me thinking he is something a little close to a genius because they were able to get a steal, truly a steal in Davis. But I don't think you can just let him just trade him. I wouldn't trade him. So that's my message on trading Bertans. I would not be an advocate for that. I look at the wonderful things that Kelly Oubre Jr. is doing in Phoenix, and we should have kept him. And we not, no. And so I just hope not necessarily with any intel on that topic, but I just would not do it is all I'm saying. So we shall see what happens, but I hope that they don't do, what I think everybody is doing. Yeah, don't undo a good deal. You got him for a steal. You didn't pay anything for him. It was almost free. In NBA deal language, it was almost a free meal. And you just, it was a lot more than you bargained for. So I don't know how anybody else feels about that, but I certainly hope that Davis is still in a Wizards jersey come next year. And to Kevin Williams' point, yes, absolutely, we should have kept Kelly Oubre. So moving on to the Redskins. I think, it's Redskins time. Okay. A lot happened today. A lot has just happened in the last week. So I was going to start the conversation about what was everybody feeling about all the coaching moves. Uh-oh. Y'all know when I start leaning back in my chair, that means I'm about to get a little serious. Check my posture. I was going to talk about the different coaching changes, right? Then, of course, here comes all the breaking news today. And it's interesting. It's not funny. I almost said it's funny. It's interesting because last week, you remember it came out, Eric Schaefer is out. He's out. He's leaving. And, the message for quite some time has been everybody can go. Because here's the hard truth. When you're 3-13, who can stay? Unless folks are just staying because we respect you and you deserve to be here because you a staple in the building, you a staple in the community. But other than that, you can go too. Yep. When you're losing, you don't have any say. anybody can get got.
And 313 requires it.
And to Kevin's point, you just blow it all up.
Yeah.
Again, like we were saying last week when the rally captain joined us, said, this isn't, it's not like you want to lose for draft picks every year. That's not the goal. Okay, that's not the overarching goal. So with that being said, we've lost enough. Okay, now it's blowing up before our very eyes. And last week, it was noted, Eric Schaefer is out. Then it was, no, he's not out. He's still in. Or was it literally in? Well, he ain't out. He's still in the building. He's standing in there. I saw him walking down the hallway. I mean, that's just how literal it became. Then it was a report, oh, he's going to leave in May. Okay, hey. Then it is officially released. Redskins and Schaefer mutually part ways. I want to read the official press release. Redskins owner Dan Snyder says, I want to thank Eric Schaefer for his work and contributions over the past 17 years. He was dedicated to the team and the organization, and we wish him all the best. From Eric, he says, I want to express my sincere gratitude to Dan Snyder for bringing me into the NFL and allowing me to be a Washington Redskin for the past 17 seasons. It was a privilege serving this historic franchise as both Senior Vice President of Football Operations and General Counsel, and a blessing to have worked with so many incredible people. While I will miss the players, my friends, colleagues, and the tremendous Washington Redskins fans, my family and I are excited for our next chapter. And then, of course, he made Doug Williams is the Senior Vice President of Player Development, which, depends on how let me get to that. If I can get to that in a moment, I can get to that in a moment. Dan wasn't playing, and people knew that Dan wasn't playing before, because what we're seeing is there's been some longevity with some of these folks, right? And it's kind of like the saying, like, if I didn't win with you, then why, what is my incentive for keeping you? It has to be more than just, I like you to a certain point. Eric Schaefer is widely respected across the NFL, but I think, in just the nature of blowing stuff up and getting rid of people now in this regard, this wasn't a firing. This was a mutually, you go your way, I go my way. Mm-hmm. And some marriages are like that. I've never been married, but it's been, that's how it is. So what was interesting, though, is that Ron Rivera, and let me be very clear, I like Ron Rivera. I like him a lot. I like folks that are articulate, can communicate, and are straight shooters. He's been abundantly clear on everything he said, and I've told people, and I'll say it again, you don't have to guess what he's saying. You don't have to overthink it. You don't have to overanalyze. You don't have to try to read in between the lines. He's a straight shooter. Very, very just direct and frank. And I like folks like that. But my only challenge with the moves that he's making, Ron Rivera that is that now this has become his, who are we? The Panthers? As long as this is not a recreation of what they didn't get to do in Carolina. So now we're going to bring the, as, one of my favorite people says, Russ McCray, as they say, we're going to bring the band back together. It's, the reunion tour. As long as it's not that. Now, what does my gut tell me? My gut tells me that it's not that, but my eyes tell me that it is. And let me be very clear. Redskins Nation, there's a lot to be excited about. If anybody was going to come in and change the culture for the better from a head coaching perspective, out of who was available, Ron Rivera is that. I will give him that. For certain. For certain, I feel very confident in that. The general pulse and feeling around the building is that everybody feels that and they're okay with that. And that's cool. I just don't want it to be the Carolina Panthers show. That's all. But in burgundy and gold. You know what I'm saying? Like, like Mazdak said, burgundy and teal. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I know what my gut tells me, but my eyes are seeing something else. But I'm going to go with my gut. I told somebody else, it was a comment made about the coaching changes, and I'm going to read some of those comments. Matter of fact, let me read some of those comments now. Let me read some of those comments, you guys. When I asked about what do folks think of Coach Rivera's coaching moves so far, and Troy Wallace Jr. says, I believe that it's a great move for the organization and for the fans. The biggest move was getting rid of old Bruce Allen. Let me just say this. That's all I got, Troy. I'm with Troy. Because I said firing Bruce Allen, that's going to get me through training camp. We all right. Everything is all right with me. I'm not going to disagree with much of anything for the next few months. I'm all right. That move alone will hold me over until training camp, when I start seeing what folks are about out there in practice and on the field. And when I can act, even before that. But no, I'm even doing mini camp and OTAs. I'm good until the summertime. Summertime, you might start hearing me be a little judgmental. Unless something wild and crazy happens, because we still have to talk about the veterans who should stay and the veterans who should go. And that's a whole nother conversation. We have not even scratched the surface on all that can be discussed, because I don't even know if we're going to get time. Maybe we will, about just the actual coaching, right? But back to folks' thoughts on the coaching moves so far. Brian Robinson says, seems to have made good, solid moves, hiring people that he's had prior success with, sticking to his successful recipe. I feel hope for the first time in years. I think Rivera has done a good job so far. Robin Harris says, I'm still traumatized from the past years of mediocrity, so I'm holding my judgment. Jeffrey Blue says, I have an open mind about it all. Too scared to get fully excited, but I see potential for good things. And then Keith Mackle says, I'm willing to give them a chance. We've been below average for so long that a change was needed, but we as a fan base can't badmouth it because we were all calling for change in our organization, and now we have it. And Keith is absolutely correct. This is the change that fans were seeking. And again, shout out to the fans, because whether you all know it or not, that Fire Bruce Allen hashtag has some weight. Because it wasn't like that hashtag was just like, I saw it was something happen. And I mean, everything had become that hashtag. It didn't even matter what the post was. It was just the response was hashtag Fire Bruce Allen. I'm like, my gosh, I know the shareholders have got to be like, you better fix this, Dad. So it's going in the right direction. Again, now what does my gut tell me? My gut tells me everything is fine. And in terms of a culture change, my eyes also tell me, okay, they're moving in the right direction. Another recurring theme that I'm hearing and noticing, because we haven't even gotten to the new head athletic trainers, everybody that's been brought in. Yeah, I mean, it's so many updates that's been going on, and hey, listen, if they're getting the band back together to try to win the Super Bowl that they didn't win a few years ago, what was that? That was the historic year, right? Super Bowl 50.
They take the scans, we're gonna
listen, Fred Smoot said, I was listening, I had to listen to it today. Fred Smoot said, we got the whole, this is our decade. How you gonna claim the whole decade?
The whole decade. I ain't mad at him.
Well, I know you ain't mad at him, because you about all that kind of conversation. But I just had to laugh like, oh my gosh, we claiming the whole decade. But it's a lot more that we can discuss on this topic. But I do want to mention Kevin's question here. Will Ron talk Trent back? I mean, hey, it's not like Trent is saying hell no, like he was saying before. But again, Ron was very clear. I went back and I read the transcript. I listened to the press conference over and over again. I went back and read the transcript over and over again. And he's very clear that it's a combination of that raw young talent is coupled with strong veteran leadership. Now, that doesn't mean he's not going to bring in a strong veteran free agent. But this is going to be interesting. And I'm excited. Now, was I feeling the whole, New Carolina Panthers vibe? No. But hey, if that's what works and that's going to help, that's the mold that can help build the culture and build that right recipe to hit the ground running. And if these are the folks that Rivera feels like he can get to the next stage and the next level with, they can learn from their missteps and mistakes at Carolina or wherever else they work together, I'm okay with it. He has a huge opportunity. It does look like Dan has given up the keys. It does look like he has given him, you handle that. You handle the football stuff. So we'll see. We shall see. Whoo. We at the top of the hour, y'all. We at the top. Kevin said, we need Trent back. Listen. Trent is a leader. He's a leader. I don't necessarily always want to get into that topic unless I absolutely have to. But there is no GM. So Kevin said, who's the GM? The GM is not supposed to be named until after the draft. But shoot, if you wait until after the draft to name the GM, will there be a GM? So we shall see all of that. I think it's stay excited. And for those that are not excited, I understand. Because to the comment before, the fan base has been completely traumatized. And it don't always work out. It doesn't always work out. All that hope. And for what? It's like, nah. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive until training camp. If stuff's not going downhill, then we go from there. But I think we'll be okay. You guys, Joy has been updating the comments with, I think I got a question in the room. Yes, Holly. Let me stop. Like it's class. Yes. I'm gonna go ahead and
I knew somebody was gonna bring up Kirk.
We just got, we gonna go ahead and congratulate Kirk. I guess we gotta go ahead and congratulate RG3 while we at it, because everybody is doing all right, but us. I mean, and how ironic, right? I mean, yes, okay, RG3 is back up in Baltimore, but so what? He's over there.
He about to get a ring.
He about to be over there getting a ring. He's playing for the Ravens. He's the backup quarterback for the Ravens. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, different systems, but we gonna see. Let's see what happens. I'm anxious to see what happens. I want to see this culture change happen before our eyes. I just want to see it to believe it. But I feel better. I know that. Listen, you guys, on the comments, Joy has been updating to remind you all to make sure you are following on here. We're on Facebook right now, on Instagram at CWall Sports, and on Twitter at CWall SE. I try to get to everybody's comments. My brother D'Angelo Pope, I see you on here chatting back and forth with Kevin. So you guys, I appreciate it so very much. And there's absolutely never a dull moment. So listen, who knows what we'll be talking about come next Thursday. Okay, you guys. So you all have a great evening, and we'll see you next week.
You're not on the field, court, or ice. CWall. You are on the couch. From PG to DC, this is Coaching from the Couch with your host, CWall. Delivering coverage for all DC sports teams from the hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, Caps, Bowie State.
My name's CWall, I'm a PG girl. Down for my skins, I don't know if you heard. If you like watching sports, then I am your girl. Sit down on the couch if you not on the field. Cold on the ice, pick any sport that you want. Know that I cover it tight. What would you like? From baseball to football and more. The list can go on the whole night. Big shouts out to my HBCU fam. Never forget who I am through the wins and the losses, the highs and the lows. We gotta stay strong, so I stay 10 toes. Make the competition back. The way I kick it, make 'em mad, man. CWall and we live and direct. Sit back on the couch and relax. Come on.